Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Hot Monday. I hope you're doing well. 1 second while we get Instagram started. All right, everyone. Hello, happy High Vibe Monday, January 31st. So if you're coming on, say hello. I've got a great um, program for you guys today. Today, in this video, we're going to be talking about, do you want to get back to where you were pre-COVID and then some? Whether that's you want to get back to where you were financially before COVID, or whether that's where you want to get back to where you were in terms of love and happiness you had in your life. This is for the people who you want to get back to where you were before pandemic, before COVID, and you also want more. So this video is free. If you're coming on, say hello. If you got any questions after the general message, we are of course going to go into individual message for people. If you got any questions, every Monday, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Or most Mondays, I should say, I come live to just give some free coaching, some free high vibes to people. So let's dive right in. So what I've been noticing with with all of my clients right now, actually, and people I'm just having conversations with in general, is here's two of the first things you need to do to get back to where you were pre-COVID, and that was there. You need to go back and shine appreciation onto the path that you chose, because there's if you're at a place of I winded down and now it's going to be so hard to get back to where I am. I'm fighting to get my energy back. I'm fighting to get my mojo back. If you are all in that place, then you have this energy of dredge, this energy of dread. So, like, do you see why? Like, you wouldn't necessarily want to move forward. You've got to clean up that energy. Because you don't want to be moving forward. You're like, but I slowed down during the pandemic and now I'm even further behind. I was already behind like then. That's just that old energy that we're like no longer doing, of requiring perfectionism of yourself, of beating yourself up for not being good enough. Like, we're done with that. We're done with that. We're moving on to a new lesson. Okay, so I want to give you guys like two examples of why you need to go back and appreciate the path that you took during the pandemic. And so one of my clients, his businesses winded down during the pandemic, um, and now he wants to like ramp them back up. So this is where you're really gaining a sense of appreciation that like life is a choose your own adventure type of a thing. You have to appreciate the path that you chose. There are some people during the pandemic that were like, "Whoa, I'm even gonna more hyper focus on success and growth and making money." And there were some people who made significantly more. Look at Jeff Bezos, Amazon. He made way more money, right? So some people did choose that path, okay? This particular client chose the path of, okay, I don't really want to fight the overwhelming energy of like mass consciousness. Business is gonna be what it's gonna be during the time, but, he kept all of his businesses afloat during the pandemic, all of them made it, but he didn't put emphasis on growth for them. Instead, what he was doing, he was building a solid network during that time, so that now that he's energy's loosening up and he's like, "Okay, I'm ready," now he has a solid network that it's gonna make his next step even easier, okay? So you don't need to be in this place of I winded my business down. I'm not going to make any money. Once we shined appreciation for like, no, you were on your path the whole time. Sure, you weren't focused on the growth of your current businesses, or you weren't focused on the growth of the new business. Because just admit it, you didn't want to go through that mindset work of growing a brand new business during a pandemic. Instead, you focused on growing your network so that when this passed, it will really kick off. Okay. So do you see how once we got that appreciation going, it was like oh yeah, I'm not like fighting to get my mojo back. I'm not like being resilient and strong and strength. It's just like oh yeah, you're right. So now let me sit back and go, okay, it's okay for these businesses to start flourishing. I could start thinking of ways for those to grow more. And I could start looking at the network I've grown and developed and see what kind of synergy I can make happen there. Okay. And so the second client that I wanted to give you guys an example was so this one's going to be good for people who are just like at a place of a desiring, setting a goal, manifesting more money. And hey, everyone, um, some people choose the path of money, money, money. I want money now. Some people choose the path of I want to build, I want to do all the mindset work so that when the money comes in, I can just enjoy. Okay. Um, And so the 2 paths are the current my client chose the path of, I wanna build such a strong sense of safety and comfort around receiving so that when it comes in, I can just enjoy. So this is where we don't need her going, "But I haven't been, like, growing my business, I haven't been doing even applying for jobs." It's a, "Oh, I chose the path of cleaning up all the inner children that would get triggered when the money comes in." Right? Because every time you guys grow, new traumas can come up, right? Let me give you a personal example. So, manifesting love. I have an easy time manifesting like dates and short-term and medium-term length relationships just fine. I just went completely blank, guys. For love, and I was cleaning up my vibration around manifesting in a longer term partner. Um, and then what happened is I had this moment where I was like, "Oh my god, I want to be a mom." And what happened is my dating life deadpan stopped. Because what happened is when I had the thought of, I wanna be a mom, new fears came up that would never have been activated prior to me admitting that to myself. Do you guys, like, see that? Life is always about expansion. It's always about expansion. The next level that you come into, you're unaware of the thoughts that might be holding you back. You're unaware of fears you might have, and then when I went, I was like, wow, this is crazy, but I think I need to go do limiting belief work. And then when I wrote it out, because dating life deadpan stopped and business stayed stagnant, I was like, I've never had a hard time getting another client. What's going on here? I tried to do that around business, around money, around my belief system, around my childhood. I was like, nothing's coming up. And I was like, well, maybe it's because I want to be a mom. And then the thought came out, I think you're a good mom if you focus 100% of your energy and efforts on your children. I was like, "Well, that's not a helpful thought for being an awesome mom and an awesome business owner." Right? So I had to rework, and there were like 6, 7, or 8 of those that came up. I had to rework each of those, okay? So enjoy the expansion. And so this particular client, she wanted to work through the mindset stuff, obviously to allow it in, but she also wanted to work through all the mindset stuff, all the stuff that would potentially get triggered when she receives the money, so that receives it she could just enjoy. And I want to give you an example of someone else who chose the opposite path. Manifestation Babe, a lot of you have probably heard of her. I think that this post was a post that she wrote like 4, maybe 5 years ago. So it was a good length of time. But she was writing a post about upper limits and that she had just bought a helicopter ride for her and her. It was her boyfriend at the time. I know now they're like married and they're married. But she wrote like, guys, I booked this beautiful fun experience for me, and immediately afterwards, once we landed, guilt kept hitting in, and I felt so bad, and I dipped into fear of like, what if this gets taken away and I never get to do it again? She chose a path of I want to receive more money, more money, more money, and she was willing to take a path of like I want this thing, the money, and I'm willing to feel this much discomfort as I go along with it, so that as she grows in money, she'll work through the discomfort as it grows. She wasn't married, she didn't have children. That's a safe and okay path for her to take. My client, on the other hand, she does have a younger child. I think you're on that platform. If you're on this platform, she chose the path of, you know what, I really do want the more money, but I have a little baby girl I'm looking after. So when I receive it, I want to receive it where all this mindset stuff is already done, so that once it comes in, I could just be enjoying. It could just be, oh, here's the new paycheck. What are we gonna buy ourselves? Here's the investment I'm going into. Instead of, I got money, I bought this thing. Oh, I feel bad for buying it. I'm not helping the planet. Let me work through that. So do you guys see how that right there is give you 2 examples of like 2 different paths to the same outcome? The same outcome. It's just different levels of comforts. It's different levels of, some people will have a greater sense of appreciation. Some people will like the client with a child, she'll have a greater sense of appreciation when the money does come in for money. The person who allows the money in first, they're going to have a greater sense of appreciation for, wow, now I really understand the importance of like mindset work first, energy work first. Okay. Um, I think I have one more example to give you guys there. Oh, let's give you an example of this. So I am working on my thoughts around manifesting my beloved husband, my life partner who's going to be in my life. Maybe you'll see him in the background in somebody's lives one day. Um, I'm 36. I just turned 36. And one of the things that I found myself coming up against is I started on TikTok. There's this new trend where people are showing photos of this is me and my babe turning 30 and 31 together this year. And then they're going back like this was us at 16 and 17. Or this is us, we're 70 and 85. And this is us when we were 30 and 43. And I was having this moment of like, oh man, I'm not gonna have that. I'm not the person I'm with isn't gonna like understand what it was like when I was starting this business. This person isn't gonna understand what it was like when I went from one-off readings to group coaching packages. And then they're not gonna understand that we're not gonna be able to look back and reminisce and go, babe, do you remember when we were like grinding away doing Facebook lives 3, 4 times a day? Like, I'm not gonna have that. But I don't need to sit back in a misery pool going, I'm not gonna have that. It sucks. Do you see how I need to clean up the past? And that is by appreciating the path that I took. Those people decided to like kind of bang it out together as they grow together. They had a stronger emphasis on reminiscing. I had a stronger emphasis on when my life partner comes in, I just want us to enjoy. We're not going to be going through upper limits together. We're not going to be cleaning up old trauma together. When I meet my life partner, we're just going to be enjoying. Okay, so for me, for my path, I'm going to have a greater sense of I'm going to have a greater and deeper understanding of the value of having a life partner with you than people who got married when they were younger. They're going to have a greater sense of appreciation for being able to reminisce longer than I value or had. So this is where you fully appreciate that life is a choose your own adventure. So allow yourself to bring all of your focus on you so that you can powerfully move forward, knowing and trusting that, hey, others chose a different path than me. So it's okay for me to enjoy the path that I took. Because even though, like Manifestation Babe and I, we will at the same time, we will at some point be at the same income level. She got to the income level faster than me, but she banged it out as she was growing it. I like when I had my first $30,000 month, I was like, whoa, that this is great money wise, but this is going on in my personal life. Like, hold on, let's wind back business so that when I get that back, I'm just enjoying. And then I'll catch up. So we'll have different paths to get to the same endpoint. But that literally, guys, is the point of life. Okay, so the second thing you need to do, and this one's going to be quicker, I'm going to save time to answer questions so people get your questions ready because I want to do some spot coaching for people. Um, the second thing you need to do if you want to get back to where you were pre COVID and then some, but this is going to be a little bit of a series, so I'm going to teach you guys things as the week come on, is you just have to admit that you're bored with the current stage that you're at. Like you're bored. A lot of times, especially people who are into like law of attraction, good, I'm glad you guys are liking this. Um, and hey to everyone who's joining live. I love when people join live. It's way more fun for me when y'all are here. So, mwah, thank you for choosing to spend your time this way, getting high vibe with me on High Vibe Monday. Um, okay. It's admitting that you're bored. You're bored. And a lot of people can, especially law of attraction followers and people who've been following me for a while, we know that when you're in a low vibe state, and so for those of you who aren't into the law of attraction thing, vibration just means vibration, or when someone says your energy, those two words just mean your default emotional state of being. So if you're low vibe, it just means you're sad emotionally. You're just on a lower emotional enjoyment. Okay. So and anyone who knows the emotional guidance list, you know that 8 are down, you're not manifesting, you're not in a state of mind to be going towards your goal. But like the next lesson for you to learn is that any emotion you're feeling is just a guidance. So you need to be tapped into your guidance to know if you're close to your goal or away from your goal. And so it can be that fear of, no, if I admit I'm bored, that means I'm pinched off and I'm not allowing my desire in. I'm not allowing my creative flow to come in. Instead of just recognizing the emotions for what they are, which is a guidance system, a map, it's your compass to let you know, do you need to go east, do you need to go west? And so it's a, wow, I'm bored. I'm bored of learning the lesson that it is safe to have a significant other. For those of you who've been following me for a while, you understand my childhood. I was like, I'm bored with that lesson. I have thoroughly learned that it is safe to have a husband, a significant other. I have thoroughly learned that it is safe to be positively benefited while in relationship with others. I have thoroughly learned the value of having that companionship, that steady source of love, that steady source of encouragement, that steady source of someone to share and reminisce with. And I'm bored of the lone wolf thing. Even though for those of you who've been following me for a while, you know that there was a part where I was like, "Oh my god, $30,000 a month. Oh my god, so and so hired me. Oh my god, I just got booked for a VIP intensive in London, so I'm gonna go tour London in the UK for 4 weeks." Right? I love that. And I tooted my horn of like, I'm a big, bad, bold feminist. Look at me doing it. And now it was just like, oh, I'm bored of learning that lesson. I'm bored of celebrating things that a lone wolf celebrates. I now want to be celebrating birthdays together. I now want to be, so you got to flip over to, I want the new lesson, the new expansion. I want to I want to be experiencing what is it like, really focusing on another individual, like making that significant time for their birthdays. Okay, so I think you guys are like getting the point. You just got to, I'm bored with that lesson. I'm done with that lesson. I'm on to the new. That lesson's done. It's wrapping up. The more money's coming, the husband's coming in. I believe in now. I believe in now. It's coming in now. I'm being guided. He's coming in. The money's coming in. That's done. It's done. And for my law of attraction followers, that puts you at it's vibe 3 or vibe 4, default expectation. That's the vibe you want to be at for shit to come in. She's like, I'm done with that lesson. It's done. It's already in. The last little bit's unfolding. I'll take the inspired action that I'm done. I'm going on to the new lesson, which is enjoying the date with the new guy, which is all right, you guys got it. Okay, so let's go into some questions for people. Type out your questions. I'm gonna get to as many of them as I can. We got this. Totally love this. Hey, Valentina. Hey, Concha. Hey, Studio LP. Thanks for popping up. I see Chef Cook. I see Antoinette. Ooh, hey, I see Kaylee. What's up, everyone? Love this. Appreciate the path you took and honor it. Yes, that's a great way to say it. Appreciate. Like I did take that path. I now know that it's so safe to be a wildly successful yoga instructor. And I'm now ready for my first corporate client who's ready to pay me $5,000 because I'm done with the lesson of learning the value of my gift. Like it's valuable. Who's the person who values it at $5,000 a month? I'm ready to now be exploring what it feels like to be paid 5,000 a month from one client. Right? Contra, that would be you. It can tell you a lot about how you like things to flow. Yeah, exactly. It's just about appreciating that this is the path I took, and I like that. Okay, so I do see a question over on Instagram. So, guys, just start typing in your questions, and I'm gonna go through as many people as I can. I am at a stopping point with my business. When I meditate, spirit is telling me I am not ready yet. I have been manifesting success with my business. I want to go out and market myself. I hold back. Okay, let me fill into that really quick, Chef Cook. Okay. When you want to take a specific action, and it sounds like your action is, I want to go out and market myself. And you either hear from spirit or hear from your own internal gut, it's not time for that. Admit, like, well, I'm really frustrated because that is something I'd like to do, and that's frustrating. I really just want to be enjoying this good thing, this pot of gold that I think will come in when I allow myself to market myself. So it's frustrating to be hearing messages, seeing signs of I'm not ready. It typically means it's not ready to market. It's not ready to go do a live yet. There's probably a subsidiary lesson that you need to learn before you go market yourself. Okay. So maybe it's a like I want to say branding chef cook. It's a let's use an example of Antoinette. I think she's still on here because Antoinette, drop your link on both of them so people can buy it if they want. Oh, Valentina Concha, don't don't buy it though because I'm gonna buy you guys one. Valentina Concha, yeah, I'm gonna buy you guys the Love Within Antoinette's that root chakra sweatshirt. It's just I have to wait until I'm looking at my money. I have to wait until mid-February to buy it for you guys. Yeah, Valentina, I'm so sorry you're in Argentina. It's gonna take you like a month to get it. I'm so sorry, girl. Um, so besides you two, everyone else go buy it if you want it. Oh, I lost track of my train of thought. Oh, so she was at a point of being like eager, like, I want to start a business, I want to be a business owner, but like, why am I not starting it? But she had to figure out what she wanted to sell. And then she was like, well, maybe I could sell this. No, it doesn't go for it. Maybe I could sell this. And she was doing like a sea salt thing. I forgot what it was called. And then she was like, that's not quite what I want to be selling. But then she was like, "Oh my god, look at this sweatshirt." And then it was the stage of, "Look at this sweatshirt." Instead of going and marketing it right away, it was a, "Well, let me order a sample. Let me go back and forth. Hey, can you add this? Hey, can you add that?" And then it was like, "Oh my god, that's the one." Then she built the website, right? Because it wasn't yet ready to market yet. She then built the website. Once the website was done, then it was like, okay, now how do I do marketing? So do you see that, chef cook? So tell me more. So it's more how I would say to like switch it is I want to go out and market myself, change it to I'm ready to take action on my business. It's either I'm ready to take action to start getting my business up and running off the ground. I'm ready to take action. I'm ready to start taking action that will help my desire come in. If you're past the figuring out what you wanna sell, it's a, "I'm ready." I'm ready to take action to start growing my business. And then there was a while, guys, where when that was my ask, where instead of getting lives to do, ways to grow my email list, people to co-market with, I kept getting my internal guidance to, like, work out more. And I was like, what the fuck? No, I'm not trying to work. I'm not trying to lose weight. I'm not trying to like be stronger. I'm trying to make more money. Like, hello, I'm trying to help more people. I'm trying to offer my services to more people. But chef, it was like I needed the more physical energy to be able to handle more clients. Okay, so let me scroll on Instagram a little bit more, guys. And then the website is www.thelove-within.com. Guys, I love that sweatshirt, and it is such a good winter sweatshirt. I love it. Okay, you're saying thank you. Yes, hearts. Okay, so let me go. Guys, type in your questions. Let's go. Let's make the most out of this High Vibe Monday. Let's see. Well, really, yeah, I'm gonna do it. Hey, and Contra girl, I'm so sorry that I haven't gotten your necklace to you. I caught like I haven't been able to. I need my friend to teach me how to make the earrings. I got sick. Now she's sick. So I think, girl, I'm just gonna mail you the bracelet because earrings are gonna take too long. So I think I'm just gonna get you the bracelet going. But that's why I was initially waiting. But yeah, I wanna for all the people who joined to work with me who are spiritual, I think that's just going to be a welcoming onboarding gift. Kelly, you are the most loving. I'm crying right now. Oh, Contra, you are going to love that sweatshirt. It's like the root chakra. I am worthy. It has I am worthy embroidered in it. It has a little zipper pocket for gemstones if you guys are into that. It has like is it satin or silk? I think it's a silk lining. It might be. I don't know. You can ask about Antoinette that. It has this really soft, I think it's silk lining in there. It's so good. Um, Best coach on the planet, most nurturing, loving, safety. Aw, I'm trying to make more money. Aw, it's going to be a big surprise. Yeah. Okay. How do I work with fear? It's been really heavy lately. Um, okay. So, Kaylee, this is where for your fear, sometimes, guys, when you're in fear and like having a trauma response, fight, flight, freeze, or bond, go do inner child work. Kaylee, what I can feel for you is that your fear isn't that. Your fear is this is where you just got to admit what your fear is so that you can, because once you admit what your fear is, then you can build what I call your safe container. So that you're like, okay, so here's my fear that I have. And here's what I'm doing to build safety around it so that I can move with my fear. And so what I feel like your fear is I'm afraid that when this becomes successful, that people are going to judge me. I'm afraid that once this becomes successful, my family is going to start thinking that I'm evil. Right? Because Kaylee, right now, you're surrounded by people who have different belief systems than you. And that means that they came down to live a different life, okay? So I, for one, like every time the first six, I've been doing this for 6 years now. Every time I called my mom, Kelly, don't you just want to get a job at the county? You just make 30,000 a year. They pay really good benefits. So you can have benefits, Kelly. Don't you really want like benefits and healthcare provided by your company? And I'm like, yeah, but mom, I can make 30,000 off one client. Why would I go work for 30,000 for a whole year? You know? Why would I go give my soul to someone from 9 to 5? Like, that's not the path for me. So her and I have different belief systems. She came down to live a life of safety, of comfort, of just getting by. Fuck no, I came down to be traveling and exploring Europe, go to the Maldives, go to Europe, go to Greece, go to even just Florida, even within the States. So anytime I got success in mind, she'd go, "No, but Kelly, what if it gets away? And like, what if you don't get clients in 3 months? And then if you just take this job, you'll always have that health care. Even though it'll be boring, Kelly, you'll always have that health care and you'll get retirement benefits." So what you're doing is right now you're around people who have different belief systems than you that came to live life differently, and you're trying to attune to and still adjust to them. The overarching lesson that you're learning with that, Kaylee, is that it is safe and okay for you to enjoy life differently than other people. And it's safe and okay for you to learn a new way to love and connect with others. A lot of times, like when you're little, you have to, it's called attunement, guys. You have to attune to your primary giver to know what's acceptable, what's not. But once you get older, once you're an adult and you start to make money your own way, you don't need to attune to them anymore. You're learning how to, and attunement just means so when you're older, what that means is that you think that you have to have the, when you go through an experience together, you have to have the exact same thoughts of them. You have to have the exact same experiences as them. You have to enjoy the experience the same way. You have to see the same thing they see. If you're like, yeah, man, that president was really crappy, wasn't he? Yeah, he was. Maybe low key, you do like appreciate that president a little bit, but you're like, yeah, no, he sucked because you think the only way for you to get love and connection is via attunement. And this is where you get to learn the lesson of like boundaries, preferences is of, oh, person A can enjoy this experience. I, person B, can be a little apprehensive around the experience. And it is okay for us to have those completely different experiences while going through the same thing together. Does that make sense, Kaylee? Someone's getting a car over here. Woo! Toot toot. Beep beep. I want more clients for my Reiki and massage business. How can I grow it so I can support myself? I'm ready to be a woman who fully financially supports herself off of her own practices. I'm energetically ready to receive more clients. I'm ready to be a powerful source of support for others who want to receive their healing via Reiki. I'm ready to be a powerful source of support for people who are ready to receive relief, self care, self love via massage. I'm ready to receive so that other people can receive exactly what they want. For you, I can tell that it's really about you being okay receiving, doing something that you love. So that would be your path. How can you emotionally feel comfort around receiving money around doing something that you love and feel good? Because so many people have a belief system that work's got to be hard. You have to exhaust yourself to get money. You got some sort of something like that right now in your belief system. And so if you think you have to work hard, you have to do something you don't like so that you can then enjoy, your Reiki and your massage business is never going to grow. It's safe and okay for me to receive money doing something that I love. It's safe and okay for me to receive money doing something that I love and have clients who appreciate me and adore my services. That's your affirmation to allow it to grow. Kaylee goes, "You're the best." Okay, great. You got it, girl. Good. I'm so happy. So happy for you, girl. Can't wait to see you Thursday, right? Um, Yeah, girl, I'm so happy for your car. I love exploring. It's so fun to get out of my house. I love seeing more parts of the world. I love ease of transportation. I love being able to get up and go and just be in a new environment. Solidify that belief, girl, because then you'll be like, yo, Callie, when's your next live event? I'm booking a flight. I would love a message from Spirit. I've been reading Unblocked. Wow, two things on my mind are general message from my guides or George, or with my car. Should I get a new one or fix my old one? Congrats, Valentina. Whatever is most in vibrational crawl. I'd love to have clarity. Thank you. You're welcome, Law. Hey, Aunt Isabel. I haven't seen you in a while. Okay, Contra, I want to fill into this. Let me read this in. Okay, so Contra, actually, where I want to go with this is like, let's look at what you wrote. I have been reading Unblocked. You put a source of information out there. For like, I'm going to say this just in case it's of significance and just in case someone who's ahead of me or has a higher vantage point than me can look and see what I'm missing to grow. Um, and then it goes, two things on my mind are, can I just have a general? Again, same thing. Like, or I'm open to hearing what someone outside of me thinks I need now. Or is there anything that, is there a message for my car? Okay, and then after those three things that are like, is there someone outside of me who knows more than me, could help with me, that could look in and go, here, I know what you need. Your last one goes to, should I get a new one or fix my old one? That's very direct. That's very clear. So I'm going to give you 2 points here. The first point would be, look, can people outside of you look in and see what you need? Yes. However, that is putting yourself in a position where it's a lot of people, everyone's supposed to be looking out for their best interests, right? So let's just use an example that if you were in a company and you're like, all right, I'm here, guys, I'm ready, I'm eager, who needs help? That person is thinking, like, I just need someone to, like, they can see where I'm at, they'll teach me what I need to get where I want. But the guy never said where he wanted to go. Instead, it needs to be a little bit more deliberate. I'm ready to be the best marketer on this planet. I get and understand that I'm here as a general administrative person. So I'm eager to help everyone on anything. But I definitely know that I want to be the best marketer on this planet. What can you guys teach me there? Do you see how there's a little bit more deliberate there? Contra, that is 100% where you're at in your life. I'm ready. I'm ready to be the most loving person I could be. You've at least set this deliberate intention, and you may manifest in a teacher who can, I know where she's at, I can teach her to get there, but you're the one who deliberately called in that lesson. Um, so it's a little bit more deliberate in that. Okay, and then so for the, let's actually get to your actual question now. Oh, wait, let me actually explain why it'd be good to switch from the old to the new. Because the old one, right? Let's go back to the example of the guy at the company. You might get the person in sales who goes, "Oh yeah, I need this and this and this done. So I actually need this guy to go through this like list of 20,000 names and screen out the bots." So that guy will be like, "Yeah, hey kid, come here. I'll teach you something. I'm gonna teach you how to go through Excel and get this list down to this people." So then he's going to teach him how to use Excel. Is that a cool skill set? Yes. Is that a valuable skill set? Yes. Is that a skill set that's going to help him become the best marketer? No. The person's going to go, "Oh, sure, I'll teach them this. He's just at a place of wanting to learn. I'll teach him this so that I can then get that." Instead, even if his ask was, "I want to be a really good salesman," now that salesman knows, hey, this guy wants to learn what I learn. Now he's worth my time and my investment. He's worth my time and my investment. You know what? I'm going to teach him sales. Hey, kid, right now, I need these 20,000 lists going through. But look, I also want to teach you. Here's the 5 steps to a sales call. Here's the types of questions to ask. Here's what to look for. Why don't you sit in and just listen to me do a couple phone calls? And then, like, next week, then I'll be like, okay, here, I'll give you a couple of calls. I'll be in the room with you and listen to you so that don't even worry about it. We don't care if you get the sales or not, but I'll coach you afterwards. Right? Do you see that difference there? Okay, so now let's get to your car. So your question is actually like, hey, I'm at a place of wanting mental clarity on if I should get a new car in or if I should fix my old one. Um, And so conscious, so now to answer that question about your car, I see that there's a small desire for the new car. I'm not seeing a big desire for a new car. I think there's a little bit of, well, maybe if I can manifest a brand new car that I've done so well of doing in the past in my life, maybe I'll believe in my manifesting skills again. I'll believe in myself again. Girl, that's not what you want, though. It's not what you want. Why not just fix the old car? Whatever's wrong with it, just fix it. And just recognize that there's a little bit of fear in there around, can I spend this much money? Will I be able to replace it? Yes, Concha, just admit everything I said in the general, the opening lesson was just admit I'm bored of learning how to receive large amounts of money for this business. Like I'm bored with that lesson. I've done it. It's safe. I'm just ready for the clients who value my service at a much higher financial rate than my previous clients have. And oftentimes when someone's there at a service-based business, there can feel like there's a little bit of betrayal, abandonment for the people who got you where you're at. That's just not true. Guys, I just signed one of my biggest client to date. I used to make 30,000 a month off like 5 or 6 people. I just signed my first $30,000 client. I'm still the same Kelly. I'm still showing up for High Vibe Monday. I didn't betray or abandon any of you. I put together, in my opinion, an awesome program that will help you. You see that, Concha? Thanks, Kelly. Love my affirmation. And hey to everyone. I am pretty clear on my business and at capacity with self. While reading unblocked, so the only thing is thinking of what to do with my aesthetically busted car. Oh, perfect. Okay, so you just clearly restated it. Yeah, and so Contra, this is where it's just so now that I would for you, I would say you're now at a place of like, you know what? Even though I am at a place of knowing that like I'm at capacity for the clients I can handle. Good job for your self awareness, because guys, you just never want to push yourself past more than you can handle. Having more money is not worth sacrificing your mental health, your emotional health, or your physical health. It's just not. I learned that lesson. Learn from me. No, not worth it. So good for you for awareness that I'm at capacity with the clients I can handle. Universe, if there's a way that we could monetize the current capacity I have, if there's a way we could monetize that a little bit more, I'm open to receiving. Maybe a client will give you a bonus. Maybe someone will book a Concha. Can you just come in and do a workshop for my corporate people? Pay $500 for that. Yeah, we'll pay like $1,000 for it, whatever it might be. If there's I'm at capacity for that, but universe, if there's a way to monetize that more, I'm open to receiving. I do recognize that my next path for growth in my business is reading unblocked. So I'm taking action on my business. I love that. Great. And Concha, I do want to give you some affirmation that I just shared with you that I signed my highest paying client ever. It's going phenomenally well with them. A lot of that, I'd say 50% of it came from reading unblocked. So, girl, you are on the right path 100%. Oh, and I just learned this from a med student I was talking to. I'm probably going to pronounce the words in the brain wrong. But so what happens is, and what Unblocked is really good at, Unblocked is really good at, it's Unblocked by Margaret something for those people who want the book. I don't have the book by me. Oh, there it is. The last name starts with an R, Rainier or something. So just make Unblocked Margaret. And there's two people's names as the author. Okay, so Unblocked is really good at getting you out of fight or flight mode in your life and into a more stable, calm mind, love-based living. It gets you out of fear-based living into love-based living. And so the med student was telling me, because I was telling him what I do as like a more intuitive, emotionally based coach. And he's like, Kelly, you pretty much take people, there's your amygdala, which is your emotional processing center, which gets all your emotions first and then sends a message to your prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain that makes decisions. And he was saying, so if someone's in trauma or fight or flight or like PTSD or CPTSD, he's like, essentially their amygdala is so overwhelmed so that when they send the information to the prefrontal cortex, your prefrontal cortex is just already given a shit decision to start with. That book is hands down of all the things I've done to heal myself and get out of my CPTSD fight or flight mode. Hands down, that was the greatest. The greatest. So now when I feel my now it's like a, hey, I am bored of learning the lesson of selling courses and this or that. I'm just not ready to receive one client who pays me this much money and a client who has friends that maybe this money is like no big deal for them. So that when he books with me, he'll be like, guys, just fucking book with her. Who the hell cares? She's only 30,000. Jesus. If you only get one thing from her, who the fuck cares? It's only 30,000. Right? I was so tuned into my emotions, it gave a clear message to my prefrontal cortex that when I saw an opportunity, I was like, you know what? I will apply to this opportunity with Ty Lopez. Like, hey, Ty Lopez, I exist. Boom, boom, boom. It all fell into place. So that book is hands down one of the best books for that. It'll be really, really good for that. Margaret Lynch. Oh, I thought her last name started with an R. I'm so happy for you. That's incredible. Yeah, I'm fucking excited and happy. Wow, yeah, it's pretty awesome. That's pretty awesome. And Valentina in our mastermind, of course, we're going to talk about that and help you guys too. All right, guys, that wraps up today. High Vibe Monday. Thanks for tuning in. It's way more fun when you guys show up live. And don't forget, we do this every Monday, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. For those of you who are ready to get past, you want to get back to where you were pre-COVID and then some. I do have spots open for coaching. I got one-on-one coaching and group programs available. So I went ahead and I put the link into the chat on YouTube, on Instagram. Just go to the link in the bio. There's a apply for coaching button for you guys to click. And you're just going to let me know where you're at. We're going to get on a phone call and see how I can help you. There's one more thing I wanted to tell you guys. Every Monday, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, I come live. I do apologize for missing last week, guys. I happened to be on the sales call with the guy, and I knew he was going to buy. So I was like, have that Monday, get my first $30,000 client. I do apologize, guys. Your time is very valuable, and I really value your time. But I'm not going to lie. I wanted that $30,000 client. And I do have coaching slots available. There's the link. Oh, for those of you who are watching YouTube on the replay, I put the link in the description as well. If you guys are watching this from my email list, I'll put a link in the email for you guys too. Love you guys bunches. Let's get you back to where you were pre-COVID and then some. Have a good day, guys. Bye.